Hey everybody, the name's rigged up, and I'm hitting play on Kingzone versus Gen.G as I slowly make my way going over Kespa Cup games, just trying to get more practice casts in for myself, build up that confidence in team fights and such, and make sure I don't drone on and on into frivolous conversation, you know? As we head into this match, though, as I'm already starting to dribble off into nothingness, see Aatrox, Aurelia, Rakan taken off the board. Galio and Cassiopeia. It looks like Cassiopeia and Galio seeing them banned quite often recently. Cassiopeia very high threat that sort of swaps stats around a little bit, and you no longer. She had a basic combo that she had to change. I believe it was the E into Q, and you could just spam those skills out. And you no longer. It became much easier, and I think all you had to do or could do was just Q now and kill somebody easily or something along those lines. Not a Cassiopeia player. All I know is she's broken a little bit here. But speaking of a little bit broken, we've got Urgot coming out on the top side here as the first answer. We could see a Victor coming out, but I do not know how confident Kuve is on the Victor here. We've seen that a couple of times as an all option for a counter pick. Kali, though, getting picked up. Very exciting to see. I imagine that is going to be going for fly. Would not be out of the wheelhouse for Kuve to do so. I do think that would be pretty miserable, though, in Akali into Urgot. That sounds pretty rough to me, but could be surprised. We see some safety going for the Ezreal. Pick that up for Deft. We know that he is well-versed with that champion. I don't imagine Pon's going to be picking up his mid laner just yet. Probably want to hold out for that. It could be Akali. Gen.G could flex it around like mentioned before. They're just going to lock in the safety pick, get Ezreal and Tahm Kench. A lot of safety offered in that combination there. Be able to just slowly scale on up into that trail to later stages of the game. But similarly, Kais is on board as well with the Alistar. A lot of nice engage burst damage there to get yourselves rolling. So no junglers picked up. I imagine that'll be the main focus of either side. Mid laner could be attacked as well. Pon has not picked up his mid lane yet, although Kingzone could potentially flex Urgot towards Pon. I don't know Rascal at all, considering that Kingzone entirely changed out their roster here. It is a different roster. I believe one that has the ability to do well. We've seen Tucson, Deft make their name for themselves. Pawn, of course, doing fabulously well in the past. Don't know much about Cuz or Rascal, though. Those are two big question marks and big shoes to fill, especially for Cuz against Peanut, who's now on Gen.G, and Khan going up to SKT. So that's a little dangerous stuff to deal with. But we see two junglers banned out, taking away Zac and Gragas. That hard engage tank. And Xin is actually going to get picked up. I thought Xin was banned out. That could just be a joke there. I imagine that was. I don't remember I believe at the start of this match they may have shown. I know that Nico is unavailable currently on this patch. And I think there was a problem with Xin at the time. And was not available, but either way they could go ahead. If it was fixed, clearly they're gonna pick it. But Zoe getting picked up for Fly, I do believe he did quite well the previous year before Crown took over the mid lane position again. But we have Malzahar. I was hoping for the Yasuo just to sort of negate the damage coming out. Yasuo wall, block the paddle star from Zoe, but instead going for some nice clean engage from Malzahar. Just drop the ulti R. Kha'Zix follow up. This should be an easier lane against the Zoe. Sort of a pseudo, or at least the idea considered that Malzahar is a counter pick to Zoe because she jumps forward and then, oh, here comes the Malzahar ulti. Get that gaze on you locked up. Kha'Zix can follow up very, very easily. Nice engage. In that regard, Urgot may be able to throw out an ulti as well on that high priority target, offset that fight. Gen.G, though, I mean, Peanut on Lee Sin, come on. That is quite the scary team composition right now. If I was going to bet on anyone to take this game right out of the gate based on team compositions, it was going to be Gen.G. Oh, and actually Kuve opting for the Akali, clearly because Zoe was picked up. So interested to see how Akali plays into Urgot. I suppose if Akali can dodge out all the auto attacks from Urgot, sort of play with the shotgun knees a little bit, avoid the extra damage there, that puts it in favor of Akali. But not sure how that plays out. I do have extreme confidence in Kuve, though, to play most matchups very, very well. And Lee Sin, or Peanut on Lee Sin, obviously going to find what he needs to very, very easily. And if it sounds like it, I do have a lot of faith in Gen.G. They only, in their current lineup, I mean, 2 to 3 main roster swaps. I suppose Ambition retiring, Peanut moving in off of Kingzone, and then Crown going over to NA. Ambition retiring. Glad he at least picked up a championship before he retired, but still a little bit sad to see him. I would love to see him back in some sort of major League of Legends role or something, helping a team out in some way. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see him pop up back up again, but I think he was ready to continue his life on with his married self and all that jazz. But going down, Ruler still on the main lineup. I mean, you don't want to get rid of that guy doing such a good job, but Core JJ no longer there. Actually heading back to NA on Team Liquid now. Don't know much about Life. I'm interested to see the synergy between Ruler and Life develop. I believe Life was on the Challenger team, or whatever you call it, the sub team for Gen.G, so there might be some synergy there, maybe why they brought Life back on. Not entirely sure, though. But we got some little frisky business going on in the river here, as both teams just popping shots here left and right on people. Trying to get that vision control in Kingzone, finding their way in. We do see a ward getting dropped, so they're going to have the timer on the jungle. Know where to find them. I don't know if Kingzone's going, or Gen.G is going to be able to answer that. But at least Sin, I mean, keeping track of Peanut is going to be very vital for this. I mean, on the Lee Sin, if you can keep him down, he wants to get out his early game pressure, exert that power, take out some main targets here, get the Akali rolling, get the Zoe rolling here, and see if you can sort of negate the usefulness of Kha'Zix. And Kuz has got a lot of work cut out for him. But we see the safety of this lane. Ezreal and Tahm Kench actually getting a little bit priority in the lane already, just because of their longer range. Kai'Sa has to get a little bit closer to getting auto attack range when Ezreal can just pop off Qs. CS, though, should remain pretty close. We did see a disaster turn out for the KT Busan game, where it was Busan. They got on a bad timer as far as basing, and they were run over CS-wise. Oh, very unfortunate in that. I don't think we're going to see the same results, though, because, well, like, a lot could happen. This bottom lane has a lot of experience. Deft and Ruler, very familiar with each other, as being top 80 carries in their throughout their careers. I'm interested to see how they might carry them through the game here. We talked a little bit about Gen.G now. Kingzone, though, entirely new roster. We talked about it a little bit, how players got shifted around. It's actually an entirely new roster from what it previously was. Yep, we see BDD going off to KT, Khan to SKT, Peanut, Gen.G, Prey, not going anywhere, Gorilla to Misfits. I would have expected Prey and Gorilla to stay together, but that's a conversation for later. So an entirely new team, and it's so sad. Okay, well, pause. I'm just going to keep talking about the roster here. So sad because there's just so much hype around Kingzone for so long. Oh, hello, Papa Smithy and guy I don't know the name of when I'm going to feel really bad. Papa Smithy going for a freaking new look. I like it. It's very different. It's got going for like the shaved side cut. I think it would look better with like a lapel mic. The headset he has right now I think detracts from it a little bit. But he's looking good. Looking good. We're getting a little bit of gray in the beard now. Looking classy as heck. Maybe if he's standing up, I might be able to see a little bit of a better suit here. I just don't know. NA casters, though, vying for time as they're waiting for whatever problem. And is it a bathroom break? We see somebody getting up and walking over. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, Kingzone, like, just so crazy because that roster listed before, it almost felt like they were like assured to win something majorly. But maybe it had something to do with the fact that they had too much power on that team, too many pieces pulling resources. Just the way that Khan, which in a way I think the best comparison might be to Huni, who is this fantastic player that has massive carry potential, maybe pushes the envelope a little bit too much and gets caught out and ends up causing the team to lose. And Khan, who becomes so good at Jace and all these other champions, would sort of inadvertently drag the rest of his team down because it's sort of like him trying to patch a hole that's just too large for him to patch, or just pulling other boards from other sections, if that makes any, like a sinking ship, if you will. Khan trying to plug up the hole, but screaming, hey, I need more stuff to cover this hole, but there's holes everywhere else on the ship. I hope that metaphor makes enough sense and wasn't just complete garbage. But that's sort of my idea as far as what happened. And of course you got players like BDD, who, I mean, does a pretty good job at low resources and supportive style mid laners. But then you have Peanut pulling a lot of resources. The bottom lane that sounds like it, Praying Gorilla should be holding on, but I think Khan being there may have flipped it a little bit too hard, which is why I'll be interested to see how we'll do onto SKT. I mean, Faker, very malleable player. I mean, he's one of the best, plays many different styles, so I think he could match and sort of deal with or figure out how best to play with Khan. It'll be interesting to see, though, how the rest of that team sort of functions all together and such. But less about SKT. We are back in the game now. CS differential, not too crazy hard just yet. We see a little bit for Akali, a little bit for Zoe, not too surprising, I suppose. Would actually expect the Urgot here to be beat up on Kuve, but I mean, Kuve, he's got such an impressive history of dealing with all sorts of problems. But we see Peanut already using his knowledge that he's gained, going for a very early dragon. I mean, if Cuz just peered over, if he goes for that scrying orb, he is going to find Peanut. But no, that dragon's going to be going over to Gen.G right now. Cuz gonna try and get some vision here, but Peanut is going to be out very early on. Did not expect him, and this sort of already shows maybe the difference in experience between Cuz and Peanut. I can look right here really quickly, see what kind of experience Cuz has, just on the sidebar here. See where he came from. So he was on Longzhu. It looks like maybe it was just he's been with Longzhu, which became Kingzone. Maybe just floating around as an extra player, so Kingzone maybe just fitting him in. And Kingzone very well could just be trying to see if Cuz is going to be the right fit for this team here, as they maybe look for another jungle option. But already see that massive experience, and we didn't even see Kha'Zix go for an invade, so there's not going to be any difference in CS. Lee Sin already inching out an advantage for Gen.G. The Infernal Drake going to help him massively later on. We got a Mountain Drake next, so two very important dragons already going to be relevant to the match. Gonna see how that Mountain Drake fits into everything. I would expect that level 6 is going to be very pivotal for Kingzone. They will have a little bit of control, better scaling, I think, on Gen.G's side. But if they can get out a target with the Malzahar ultimate, they're going to be able to start playing for these objectives pretty easily. Because just looking around for Peanut, trying to keep track of the jungler. Peanut is also doing the same. Just getting the Scuttle Crab. Don't see any pings going out onto Kha'Zix. Oh, actually, we do see a ping here. They do know that the blue buff just respawned. They're going to try and get control and force Kha'Zix maybe out of this. Instead, the Scuttle Crab is a bit more important to them as of right now. want to get that for themselves, but make sure that they keep that vision and keep Kha'Zix in check. Do not want him to be floating around. They do know that he should be level 6, could ulti at any time, sneak into a lane. Think flies in the biggest threat range of this. And Tucson, nice ward there. Make sure they keep himself safe, but Lee Sin could be looking. They did just catch him out on that ward that Tucson did just drop. A nice warding, knowing where Lee Sin could be. It was like, I mean, if Peanut had just gone down to the bush, ward hopped over, I think it could have been a pretty bad situation. At least force the flash from Tucson, gobbling up Azrael and just trying to get out of there. Maybe a first blood, but Kha'Zix now on the hunt as he figured out where Peanut is. And this feels a little risky. I don't think you would want to take this. We see pings going out, so we might see our first fight of the match here. A little bit of damage, but Peanut could be getting in range. It misses the Q and a smite coming in. Life not going to get close enough for an engage here. So Kha'Zix actually, or Cuz, I should better say, making a proactive play, going for that invade. Blue buff, not a huge detriment though to Lee Sin. It would have likely been handed over to Fly here. And would have been nice though, because that's gonna help him push the wave pretty easily. And whoa, we actually already have a QSS out for Fly, so he does not want to deal with Malzahar at all, not opting for any damage. Got a ring for himself, but nothing else going on. Kuve doing a lot of damage to Rascal right now. Only has Ninja Tappy to deal with that. So Gen.G's itemization, really just opting for items to deal with their current situation. Like, they not worrying about getting the damage item early. They're saying, we just need to survive. Our champions scale. It's fine. We can outscale them. Get that QSS. Do not enable Pawn to get killed. Sleepy Trouble Bubble connects, though, to Pawn. We see Kuve going in. 3 members of Gen.G going on to Peanut. Or Peanut going on to Pawn, and Pawn falling. And so a 3-for-1, or 3-on-1 situation here. Getting Pawn successfully got his flash out. Does not have access to teleport, so the members of Gen.G are going to be pushing this turret in. Cuz will be able to pick up the minions here. And it looks like Ruler and Life got Def pretty low. Forced him out of lane as well. Let's see this again. Fly dropping down the barrier of Pawn. That spell shield. We see Kuve moving on over. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does connect. Puts him to sleep. We see Lee Sin. Q does miss, but there's just so much damage going on here. Malzahar tries to ulti him undeterred, but by then it's already too late. We see a ping already on to Cuz, so Gen.G should be aware of this, but a minion wave pushing into Kuve. He cannot go over and check, but Alistair booking it for the Rift Herald. And it looks like Cuz trying to keep it safe out of the pit. They do know that it's going on. This might be a bit risky, though, because Kingzone does have control of it. Are they going to be able to pick it up? If they take it, are they going to be able to work their way back into the pit, though? Gen.G going to just hand that over to them for now. Not deal with that. So Cuz making some proactive movements here, being aware of the timing that Gen.G is on, trying to push the envelope, got themselves a Rift Herald, so that's hopefully a turret in the bag for them. Not a lot of damage on any turrets right now. I'm expecting that the Rift Herald, will have to be used beforehand. But what is their target going to be? It's going to be hard to engage on the bottom side. Mid lane still might be your best bet, trying to get that QSS out. Malzahar ultimate not going to be able to help out much with that, so going to have to just dump a lot of damage onto Fly. Hope that Fly misses sort of engagement here. But we already see control mid and bottom lane push those minion waves in, looking towards Mountain Drake now. They have vision control. We do see a collapse here coming in, though. I don't think Kingzone are going to be able to do much here. Is Kha'Zix going to? Nope, not going to opt to jump over the wall. Life dropping his ultimate to stay safe. Takes a little bit of a beating, but nothing's going to be going down. And that's a second Drake over to Gen.G. Mountain Drake for themselves. Going to really help them moving forward into the game. Rift Herald getting dropped bottom side after disengaging that fight. Calling that maybe people are a little offset. Or maybe this was a ward opportunity that felt like a misuse of the Rift Herald, actually. I thought maybe they were doing it because they were calling a bluff, or maybe just trying to slow down the timers of Lee Sin. but or maybe thought that he based any member of that, just hoping that they could get something a little bit preemptive though. Really should have held on to that. I think the timer was still pretty good on that. Wasn't going to come in time. Whoa, that is a lot of damage coming out from Fly. Who needs damage? All you need are sorcery shoes, and you can punch through anybody, I guess. Goodness gracious. That was miserable to watch, and so sad in a way, because Zoe is back on the damage train as far as everyone else is concerned. I know that they buffed her Q not too long ago, again to the dismay of many. But with a lower turret bottom side, I mean, you cash in on that gold, and now you're getting some nice range here. Kingzone may be looking to pick up the first turret blood gold. After all, they slowly just trying to inch their ways towards success and slowly scale up. Have that, use the little bit of lane pressure that they have with the range that they have from the Ezreal and the safety from Tahm Kench. Yep, just trying to push Gen.G off. Gen.G aware that mid laner is missing, could be going for a dive. Peanut on the other side of the map, not ready to help out. Blue buffs getting traded. And first turret blood gold going over to Kingzone. Oh, excuse me. Blue buff going over to Fly. Gonna pick that up really quick, help him with the wave clear. I assume Kingzone handed over blue buff to Pawn to get them rolling. So that first blood kill going over to Akali. We haven't seen it do much just yet. He does have over a 20 CS difference though over the Rascal. So Urgot actually not doing a lot of work here. Hoping to see Akali really take off here soon. But we see a 2v1 situation already in the top side as the bottom lane opts for going towards top to get that safety in that lane. Start pushing in Kuve, prevent him from taking that turret. But in answer, Gen.G's members are moving into the jungle, trying to get vision control. They were able to catch him out with that ward. I do know that there's a lot of people here. Gen.G, I guess, looking to try and dive mid. They avoid the Malzahar Q. So just trying to play with vision here on Kingzone. Is Tucson going to get too close? And we see the engage going on to Tucson, trying to shield up, falls down on his own. Kha'Zix jumped in on the backside, going to get blown up right away. Teleport can no longer be canceled. So Urgot is here, going to have to try and get out as the rest of the Gen.G's members get their way out as well. But we see an ultimate going out into the Alistar, going the wrong way. Does stay alive just barely. The rest of the members of Gen.G move back in to dissuade Kingzone from falling up anymore. So this is actually a 2-for-0. Thought Alistar was going to get picked up, but Malzahar just doesn't have enough damage quite yet to deal with taking out a target. But let's see here. Tucson getting too close. He should have just not have gone over there. There's no reason for you to go over there. And Kha'Zix jumping in. Maybe it was just a panic. Maybe he thought there were fewer members there. The rest of Kingzone were going to be able to get in, but see Malzahar dropping his ulti. Still not a lot of damage. Heal coming out from Fly there to keep Alistar safe, actually. Just barely alive. So kill advantage going over to Gen.G. We see gold here. It's still a little bit in favor of Kingzone off that first turret blood gold, but equalized for the most part. We see Gen.G with making better plays here, better team plays. Kingzone, got to give credit to Cuz for picking up objectives on the map, the blue buffs, was able to get the Rift Herald, at least trying to answer Peanut best he can. I don't expect him to do phenomenally well by answering him every way, but still at least trying to make some sort of forward moving play rather than just purely reactive, allowing Gen.G to run them over. But Tucson walking over that bush, it's one of those situations where there's nothing over there right now. You don't see anyone on the map, so they could be there. That's something that drives me nuts in kind of a solo queue where it's like there's no reason. I know you want to put a ward there and you say that after you die you're saying, I was warding. How was it my fault? It was like, yeah, you were warding, but like we should have used that sort of negative information that it's like, oh, we don't know where they are on the map right now, but they could be here. And is there any reason for me to be over here right now? We have a turret still protecting us. So let's not go there. Let's just push out the waves, try and get some control through minion waves. And then when we see them again, now we can move back into that territory, go for some wards and deeper ward coverage. But misplay, hey, Casper Cup, not a big deal if you lose it. You're just trying to sort of get out the rust and stuff, work back into it. A mistake I hope to see Tucson not make again here. But then again, it is Tucson. I think if I remember correctly, I don't follow LCK too closely, but Tucson is the guy that, like, he feeds or feeds or lives, kind of feast or famine sort of player. He, like, goes really hard on whatever champion and carries super hard. So he's, like, very accredited player for sure. But is it let's not make that a trait so much. So a third dragon going over to Lee Sin. I hope an Ocean Drake is next. That's Infernal. That's disappointing. I wanted the Captain Planet scenario going on. Get every colored dragon, finish off with an Elder Dragon, all 5. Summon for the win, as it were. Turret's getting pretty low here. Top lane turret, Kingzone's getting quite low. Some free gold potentially for Gen.G to pick up whenever they want. A second kill onto Akali and a QSS picked up. So the usefulness of this Malzahar disappearing very rapidly. Ruler, you want to get that control working. It was a little scary there. And also, misplaced timer here. We see Gen.G forcing down mid lane, and they're actually going to pick this up. The passive of Zoe making quick work of that. A very strong Lee Sin right now, taking care of that. And we see the experience of Gen.G really roll in, take advantage of those mistimed bases. Like, oh, you left early, you're not having anyone cover your lane, you do not have the wave clear to sort of answer us. We're going to just push down this turret really quick, pick up this gold. And I think we're just going to slowly see this snowball out of control as Gen.G takes advantage of these little misaligned sort of timers. Because Gen.G, for the most part, the core of this team has been together for quite some time. I know Fly was on the bench when Crown was sort of serving his work during this previous Worlds. But Fly has been working with the Ruler, been working with Cuvée. They have this synergy built into each other. They know what's going on. Peanut, he's been floating around a couple of teams now. He must be used to having to align himself with new teammates. Life, I have no idea what to say about Life, but I'm going to make that joke a lot more moving forward. So, as it currently stands, what do we want to see Kingzone do? We no longer have Malzahar as a reliable source to engage on these priority targets. We have 3 QSSs coming out. You can maybe go for the Kaisa, but Alistair's always going to be right there and be able to stop that very quickly. So it makes sense that he hasn't put gold towards that item yet, making sure Baron's not being taken care of yet or going after. I mean, Vision, you've been sort of getting ousted by Vision in a significant way. We can see that. Ooh, actually trying to find the target, slowing him down with Iceborne Gauntlet. Peanut getting pretty low, doesn't have the safety of a Tahm Kench to get him out of there. Going to be forced to flash. So maybe that's the way into this fight, is they slow him down with Iceborne Gauntlet. Try and get that QSS, because QSS was used by Lee Sin here the very last moment to try and help him get out. I think that is that slow, maybe ticking of poke from Ezreal, or any way to slow him down. Just try and get someone to use a QSS a little bit too early. We do have dragon spawning in less than 2 minutes, and maybe, just maybe, Kingzone can find a way to fight them. They can find a target here earlier on in the fight, force him to use a QSS. I mean, after that, Urgot can maybe follow up with an ultimate. We haven't seen Rascal do much yet on this champion in a team fight scenario when he's in the middle of it. Not much of a frontliner, and now it looks like Deft and Tucson are up a bit too far as Life is making his way towards him, and now we see teleports coming in left and right. Gen.G in position though, but members of Kingzone going in for a collapse now. We see Life moving towards the front line. We see Tahm Kench falling on the backside, support falling down already, another support falling down on the other side. Urgot doing what he can, doing a lot of AoE damage. Fly getting very low, but it looks like this might just be the end of the fight. Cuvée Hasn't found his way into the fight just yet, but silenced right now in the smoke by Pawn. Kuz going in onto Kuve, and Ezreal actually going to be moving up and picking up a kill for himself. Trying to pick up a kill for himself, going to be falling to Kai'Sa, I'm sorry. And Kai'Sa picking up a secondary kill, so Ruler really picking up some steam here. Sleepy Trouble Bubble forcing Pawn into an awkward pathing situation. Members of Gen.G slowly tracking him down. Kuve going to be jumping in, most likely, trying to get it. Silence coming out once more from the Malzahar. Sneaky Paddle Star not connecting from Fly. So very intense fight there. And again, going in the favor of Gen.G. Very controlled fight from Gen.G. Pretty crazy coming out from Khan here. The Ruler jumping forward, getting the damage out onto Deft. Tahm Kench doing what he can to keep him safe, but Lee Sin kicking Tucson against the wall, slowing him down best he can. QSS used to avoid the Pawn ultimate. Urgot getting a kill on the support at least, and Gen.G's Fly getting very, very low. Urgot has to get out of the fight, cannot get back in, has to teleport out. On trying to find a target, but they don't know that Ruler is there. Kuve baits it out beautifully, and Ruler's Rage Blade kicks into gear, burns down the likes of Kingzone. And that's a 4-0 Kai'Sa now with QSS herself, as Malzahar's usefulness is out, has nothing going for him. It's going to take a lot longer to get any amount of damage. We have the Infernal Drake up right now, so we're likely to see a fight going down. Sneaky Trouble Bubble, not finding a target, not connecting, but a lot of poke coming out. See Fly trying to do what he can with the Paddle Star. And we see Kuve, though, out on the side, maybe going to engage on a Rascal, not just yet, has vision control. Gen.G just trying to force an engage from Kingzone, let them move forward before they put their focus onto the Infernal Drake here. Trouble Bubble does connect. Peanut starting up on Infernal Dragon, trying to force Kingzone to get closer to Gen.G. Kuve still on the side, looking for a target. Gen.G's going to pick this up, and Ruler does have Rage Blade fully stacked. Going to be jumping forward and blow up Tahm Kench. That's 2 Infernal Drakes as well, increasing their damage, and now Kingzone have to get out of there. So Gen.G opting to get Ruler here, stacking up on the Rage Blade, paying off huge, and Tucson disappeared. I don't know what attacks hit him. I just saw Ruler jump forward, and all of a sudden Tucson disappeared. I want to see that again. So Tucson already pretty low, so Kuve getting more damage, so now he's at half health. We see Q come out for Ruler, and then Tahm Kench disappears. So taking some damage there. Didn't go 100 to 1. It just was still pretty impressive, though. Nice call from Gen.G to get the Rage Blade stacks going onto Ruler, though, to get a lot more damage pumping out of him before opting into that fight. And Kingzone, we can see that inexperience really showing through. I mean, Pont, he just doesn't have any answers with the QSS now. Did not get rolling in his lane. The early QSS from Zoe, only answer I could have seen maybe was trying to roam earlier on. It's going to be tough to deal with the split push threat of Fly. The Kha'Zix, maybe not the right choice. Maybe it was just a comfort pick for Cuz, because I don't know what he's good at. Maybe a tank champion would have been better. We did see the Gragas and Zac banned away. Clearly the Zac and banned against Peanut, but the Gragas maybe banned away. I mean, useful champion. But would have liked to see a tank, something with a bit stronger engage. You have this safety from the Ezreal and Tahm Kench, but more on that later as Kingzone tries to still find their way into the fight. Tahm Kench moving on in. Baron going over to Gen.G already. They have a few ways to get out. Kingzone going to be on the chase, trying to catch anybody. Peanut's just going to dash over the wall, and Kingzone is not going to find anyone as they sort of maybe contemplate what they're going to do in the next game to try and fix their problems here against Gen.G, as this game I would assume is going to be going on for another 3 minutes, maybe. We don't have a lot of turrets down just yet, but I'm still thinking maybe 3-4 minutes. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to say 30 minutes flat. Let's put it. Because I think they have a bit of now the dive potential. They're splitting up. We see Deft in the top lane already trying to push that minion wave back so they don't have to deal with that. They're going to give control over the Gen.G to pop this turret down. We see Kuve on the bottom side of the map pushing that lane in. So this is a nice simple 4-1. coming through, going to be bouncing between these lanes. We see Life and Lee Sin just shifting through the jungle, going towards the bottom side. Meet up with Kuve with those empowered minions from Baron buff. In Kingzone, I just don't see ways that they have to answer this. They do not have the wave clear. We saw him get a QS out earlier, but that is just too much to ask for. It's like asking for a QS to get dropped when you have a Malzahar in a game when so like just wait for that. Ooh, sneaky trouble. Yeah, good call eating him there because Deft would have disappeared. That was so much damage coming out onto Deft. That is really starting to hurt. We've got another 2 minutes on Baron right now. Gen.G force their way onto this turret. Ruler stacking up. On getting locked down but protected. And we have an open inhibitor now. I think Gen.G is going to continue this pace, just force down another inhibitor and sort of just mimic what they did to the second tier turrets here already. And like that, another turret down. Going to be looking to pick up a secondary inhibitor. Got another minute and a half. Go of Baron. Just a little bit more. One more auto attack or two. How to do it. Let the cannon minions take care of it. And they're going to do as such. And now Gen.G with another minute of Baron, likely to just look towards topside. But we do have a third Infernal Drake about to spawn. So 3 Infernal Drakes, really scary. After that, Elder Drake will be spawning. And Kingzone just trying to hold on here. They don't have any way. They're waiting for Gen.G to make a mistake or anything to go on. Kingzone looked all right in the team fight earlier when a little bit of chaos was going on. I mean, you could just tell that they were still off base and not paying attention to where the enemy champions were. They were very linear and like, go for this target, rather than sort of fulfilling their jobs. You can just tell that they are still trying to get used to the pace of everyone. Ruler stacking up Rageblade again. This feels like a repeat of the previous Infernal Drake with Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Infernal Dragon picked up again. Ruler going in once more. Cuz already very low, going to get popped by Ruler here. Reigning members. Ruler picking up another kill for himself. Expecting him to just keep on chasing. Kuve going in now, trying to find a kill for himself. And members of Tucson trying to keep Deft alive the best he can. Deft getting very low. Remaining targets, only 3 members left of Kingzone, all very low. Going to have to just go to the base as the rest of the minions are led into their opponent's base here. Going to be very easy QSS on nearly every member of Gen.G. Malzahar is not going to be able to do anything with his ultimate here except maybe stop a target for a hot second. But we're going to see Ruler jump forward again. Def getting very low. They're just going to clean this out. Alistair dropping, so it's not only just a 1 kill. They were able to pick up a 2nd kill, but this first game going over to Gen.G handedly. I don't think a surprise by anyone with the roster lineups currently. I think we're going to see a lot of great things out of Gen.G. As far as my performance in this, wasn't too bad. Team fights always can get better, but I think I'm starting to get a flow. I need to just add more of my personality into it, though. Not get so hyped about like the play-by-play of everything going on. I need to inject some more fun into it and get there slowly. But anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.